can't.
Okay.
ADD was going nuts.
I've got it going over here. So
I already got enough voices in my head.
I've got it going over here, so we're covered.
If you had one more and it's CNN, I may go postal.
Okay, so Paris Accord tax decreases, right? Or getting rid of tax incentives, right? So, two things. One, what do you think it means for you as an American? If Joe Biden is elected president and Joe Biden then undoes tax incentives or tax cuts, what does that then mean for you, dumb American? Hey, man. Hey, we're going to undo them tax cuts for them rich folks. What about for the other 98% that also got tax cuts? That would be a tax increase, okay? So just to be clear, to vote for Biden, I know that they would have you believe. That to vote for them is to only vote for a tax increase for people that made over $400,000 a year.
I'm out.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Don't have to worry about that one. But what it also means, you're right, I can't do it either. What it also means is a tax increase for those of you that saw any type of tax burden lifted off of you with Trump's cuts. How are people that stupid? Hey, man, he's going to make it better. He's going to make it better because he's only going to tax them rich folks. He's only going to tax them rich. And another question. How in God's name could you possibly vote for both Donald Trump and Doug Jones?
There was a lot they said.
A lot of people.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A lot of people. Do you realize what Doug Jones' only goal was? To stop Donald Trump from doing anything.
Right.
Like, anyways, the second part of my tangent or soapbox or whatever you want to call it here is this. The Paris Accord. They might know what that – you probably don't know what that means. You know why? Because you're a dumb American and you just do what the Democrats tell you to do. Now, those that listen to this show absolutely know what it is because they went and did their research. Or either that or they didn't open their mouth about it. One of the two. Because people who listen to this show are not stupid.
Right.
They're not dumb Americans like the people that voted for Donald Trump and
Doug Jones,
like idiots. But the Paris Accord is going to put so many regulations on industry, except for China. Did you know that they have an exemption?
I did not know that.
Do you know why they have an
I
exemption?
do not.
Let me tell you. Emerging economy. That's what they're designated. Connor, do you hear what I just said? Would you consider – oh, he doesn't even have his headphones in. He's checked out already. He's over here watching things that matter. He's over here. I'm over here soapboxing. He's like trying to figure out who's going to win this election. Who is going to win this election, by the way?
I think you and I have differing views on that.
We do. No, we do. And neither of us have a clue, so it's okay. But no, I just don't. Those are two things that I thought about today. I was listening to a couple things and you know, podcasting and surfing and stuff like that, and it was just like, how in the world? Anyways, we want to hear from you guys. What was your experience like voting today?
They've called Kentucky, so I mean that's my home state. So
They called it? Who'd they call it for? Breaking.
Called it for Trump.
Connor, can you make us a cool graphic like that?
Give me a second.
And
Well, I mean, you did it for the mayoral vote. So
yeah,
I
but
mean,
I did all that in advance.
Mitch
Yeah,
McConnell
it
has
can't
won.
be that complicated. Just grab those graphics and do a little, you know, herky jerky, move it around. You know, I'm kidding. You don't have to. I mean, you can make whatever you want to make, but you don't feel obligated to make us, you know, exceptional or anything.
So right now they're
Mediocres.
saying Fox is saying Kentucky and West Virginia to Trump, and Vermont and Virginia to Biden. That's the current ones they're calling.
So does any of that actually matter?
No.
Okay. So I mean, that's how much I know. About
Hatfields
this
and
stuff.
McCoys, pretty much. All we got.
I've got hose.
They yelled in the holler, "Who you think's gonna win?" Trump.
Trump did it. Okay. Okay. Election night special. That's what this is called. Mikey Fox on the line here. What's he got going? Yeah. Well, I guess so, Mike. Come on with it. We're gonna hear from Mikey here in a minute, I think. So we got a coffee pot. We got a.
Is there an electoral vote, like a number for coffee pot?
Mikey. Why can I not hear him? Oh, because I got the wrong one up. Mikey.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, he's loud. Mikey Fox.
Coming in hot.
How many electoral
Man, I got it
votes?
dialed up tonight, y'all.
How many electoral votes y'all got out there in coffee pot?
Well, right now, according to the CNN, we got -17.
So what's going on, buddy?
What was the turnout today in coffee pot?
Well, we had 100% turnout up there in the coffee pot. We had all 28 folks in coffee pot turn up and vote.
Was there any political division? Was anybody fights or anything going on? Or
Well, yeah, a little bit. We of them 28, we got 27 hardcore trumpety flag flying, getting on the interstate and running Biden's bus off Trump supporters. And we got one liberal that lives off in coffee pot.
who is? Do we know? Can we say their name? Do we know them?
Well, I'll go ahead on and tell you that he's a professor over at UCLA, University of Calhoun, left of Athens. Yeah, he teaches sociology over at the college. We wonder about him. We're not sure if he's National League. You know what I mean? He may be batting left-handed. We're not sure.
Sugar britches.
A little light in the loafers.
Well, but we let him stay because he's got a little garden he grows in his backyard. You know what I mean? And
he got that 420 plant.
He's all right. He's all right. We let him stay around.
He's a coffee pot herpetologist.
There it is.
Yeah. He was at the polls today, and he was handing out Biden stickers, and they were scratch and sniff.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't have any gummy bears, did he?
No, Lord, we made him quit all that. He did have some brownies with some funny green stuff hanging out of it,
Okay. All right. What else you got going on down there in Coffee Pot, man? What's Benita up to? Is she working?
Well, yeah, we having us a little rally down here. We want to bring out all the voters and Mr. Beard, we had us a political picnic down here.
Political picnic.
What in the world's
dishes.
A political picnic?
Well, so we had different dishes, and they were themed after some of the topics. We got some Melania Trump chicken breasts. I mean, they're not organic; they're fake as they can be. And we got some Nancy Pelosi fruitcake. I think that's self-explanatory. We got some. We served some Trump tamales. Them tamales that Bonita makes.
Yeah.
They orange with some yellow cheese sauce. Looks just like his hair, and they ain't from China. We served Joe Biden milkshakes. They're made from Ensure, and we put some ginkgo biloba in it, so you remember what the hell you're supposed to be talking about.
That's good.
And then last that's all right. It's funny, man. This whole thing's funny. Last but not least, we had some Jeffrey Tobin big old hot dogs.
Okay, Mike. Oh gosh.
But
are you saying you ate the tube in tubes?
No, I opted for some of them Professor Green brownies. I'm all right now. I love everybody.
I'd have probably been with Melania's breasts. I'm just saying.
Oh gosh.
Well, Hat Bonita's always looking to make a dollar. She capitalized on anything. She got a food truck parked out here. She done brought a food truck to the rally.
Oh yeah, what's it called?
Well, what she's doing is she's making them like holiday roasted pecans, and she's also selling Space Center souvenirs. She calls her truck Astro Nuts. Wait, Mr. Beard.
Oh, gosh.
I got to go. Bonita's done let the nuts get cold. I got to go.
All right, buddy. I appreciate you.
All right, shoot, I reckon y'all cold Trump. Come on, Trumpety. Woo woo.
All right, build that wall, deport them all. Oh, wait.
No, can't.
Careful,
Yeah, no.
Bonita.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What do we got going on over
Well,
here?
they're calling some other states.
Uh-oh. Wait. Georgia was just blue. What happened?
I don't know. They hadn't called.
Hold on a
others.
minute. What happened? Connor, find out what's going on in Georgia.
They were saying Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama for Trump. And then you go into all the states we know. They're real small, but you had Illinois, Virginia, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and D.C. all for Biden.
Oh, on CNN right now, Fat Anderson Cooper keeps talking about how it's a seesaw going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, but it's not a seesaw.
No.
Donald Trump's 50,000 votes ahead.
Yeah, they're making it a seesaw.
Yes, they're reporting a seesaw.
It's the compelling TV where they're going like we were starting.
They're
watching
struggling
TV
to make any of this crap
at 5:30.
compelling.
Nothing had happened. They're like, "This is in. We've got 1%."
CNN, Jip, join them in progress. They're just now 20 minutes after everyone else has Kentucky for Trump. CNN is now calling Kentucky for Trump. Hey, buddy, we've been there.
Well, we're ahead of CNN.
Golly. Hey, you're going. If you want a more accurate representation, all you have to do. Oh, that was tripping me out. Did you see what I'm talking about?
No, what was
Up on the top there.
the Fox?
Yeah, no, the very top.
Oh,
They're using that, and I was like, "What in the?"
Uh,
That's for people that are better than we are. Right? We're not allowed to be on the radio. We're not good enough to be on the radio. It's okay. Nobody wants to listen to that crap, anyways. Let's go to a break, Connor, and let's just go. Let's take us a quick break here, and we'll be.
Georgia's tied.
Georgia's tied. We'll be back. We'll be back shortly. All right. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. Election coverage. Election Central 2020. Hashtag Biden. Hashtag diapers. Hashtag depends. We've got on the line with us
Hey,
Grant.
before we go to him, can I
Oh,
say
whoa.
one-
Hold on a
I'm
minute.
sorry. I just wanted. This is breaking news.
Breaking. Well, then let's break to it.
Kanye West voted for the first election ever today, and he said that today he was allowed to vote for the first time for someone that he truly trusts. Himself.
Yeah, I knew that
So there
was
you
coming.
go. Kanye voted for the first time for himself. So there
He
you
also left the rest of his ballot blank.
Grant, did you vote for yourself, buddy?
Nah, and I didn't vote for Yeezy either.
Well, I thought about it. Yeezy was number 2 on the list, but unfortunately, I just couldn't get there. So, Grant, you've been in. First of all, I don't know if you're watching this live coverage, but they're about to call Florida.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Trump's done well with the Cubans and the Venezuelans down there. The Biden people over the weekend were saying they were more bullish on Georgia and North Carolina. So
Yeah, they're not going
that's
to get.
not totally surprising.
Georgia just flipped red too. North Carolina's hanging in there, but Georgia's not going to happen for them.
Oh well.
Did you think Georgia was
I
going to
was
happen?
checking. I didn't know. I was checking results here in Pennsylvania, so I missed all the live coverage so far.
Yeah, we're sitting here. Well, I mean, it's hilarious to watch these idiots on the. What's the guy's name? King.
go. John King. at
Did you
CNN.
when you see John King? Do you know what I'm talking about? John King,
Yeah.
Fat Anderson Cooper.
You know, you need to Google the night that they killed Bin Laden and John King got called in off. He'd been drinking and they got called in. That's a fun YouTube
No
search.
way.
Yes, I'm going to YouTube
Yeah.
that tonight.
Oh, I can't wait. That's fantastic. Okay, so to what matters? You've been in Pennsylvania all day long.
Yes.
What have you witnessed in the city of brotherly love? Well, that's Philly, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm actually back. I checked the results at this place. I was doing like an informal exit poll outside this place called Fallsington, Pennsylvania. It's in Bucks County, which you're going to hear a lot about when they start dissecting the vote in Pennsylvania. A little bit northeast of Philly, really close to Trenton, New Jersey. And in this precinct, Trump won 568 to Biden's 391. Joe Jorgensen got 13. And that's about what I was picking up on the street. And honestly, to what meets the eye, that's a little higher for Biden than I was expecting when I walked up. Almost completely white. It's an older crowd. And many, many, many of them were wearing Trump paraphernalia. I think the years that I've done exit polling, I've never seen people rep their candidate like it's a college football game, like flags on the cars, sweatshirts, all that. I mean, it's a really different vibe.
Yeah, I have noticed a lot of that. It's like roll Tide and go Trump.
Yeah.
I think the Tide would probably win.
And it's a lot of Penn State up here. So.
Yeah, well, and that's not take away the whole Sandusky thing, and you got a lot to you got a lot to go. My dad went to Penn State. My dad was a full scholarship athlete at Penn State. I'm allowed to say that, okay? So what? I mean, Grant, tell me, understand something here, because we're doing the not too serious version of the election show. What are you doing? Like, why do you do this? Like, you say informal exit polling, but this is just Grant. Grant being Grant, right? Like you're not doing anything official. You're not doing so. Like what do you do? What do you get out of this?
Well, we're all only given a certain set of skills with our education, and political science. These are my skills. So once every 4 years, I can exercise them, and so I do. And what it does is it gives me a little bit of insight into just what the values of the Trump. But I would say the biggest thing, I had a thing of like all these different topics. What's important to you? The Trump voters would always put coronavirus policy at like a 5, everything else, law and order, economy at a 10. And the Biden people would have coronavirus at like an 11, coronavirus policy. So like you just see like in this community, which seems really similar, the coronavirus is a divider in how people broke in this particular election. The other thing you see is like the ways that people absorb the message. Like one guy like talked like a Biden voter, but had voted for Trump. One lady talk like a Trump voter, but they voted for Biden, and they had both kind of internalized wrong messages from the other side to make their vote. And I guess it canceled each other out, but it's just kind of weird. It's weird to see like things that motivate people to actually come and show up, and that's just a little exercise in doing that.
So what is your day job?
I'm a stay-at-home dad.
Oh, doing it, bro.
I'm good at that.
Doing it, man. Doing it. I love it.
Mama gets it done.
Oh, no, that's right. No,
I should have
absolutely.
done exit polls at Waffle House. I should have said
Oh,
that as people,
It's a good place.
as people were coming out of the
what a good
Waffle
place
House
to
at
do.
4 a.m.
Sit at the counter, post up.
You know, I've never had anybody ask me in all my years of voting. I was trying to think like the first year that I voted. I've never had anybody ask me. The exit polls have never. I guess maybe I don't look like the person.
Well, dude,
they
are you kidding me?
approach.
We just got running water last week. They don't care about our exit polls.
No, but I mean, I've lived in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, that's
voted
fair.
there. I've lived in Nashville. I've lived in Lexington, Kentucky. I mean, so I've been through different parts or whatever. So this is one thing. Like you hear everybody talking about the Corona stuff, and this is something that's really hit me pretty hard here lately. Is I'm all about it. I'm going to wear the mask. I'm going to be safe.
I'm not.
But Grant, I don't know if this is up there. If they're really concerned about it, you go into a grocery store, and I've never seen any of the stock people wearing gloves. They're just putting up, they're wearing a mask, but they're putting up everything. Then you go and get said item, and you're not wearing gloves. Then you turn it in to the cashier. They take it, scan it, and then put it back in your bag, or they hand it to somebody else who touches it and puts it in your bag. And then the little checkout with the debit card, every single person is touching that. I mean, I kind of lose the whole, is the mask really helping in the grocery store? 'Cause it
It's
seems
not.
like, everybody's touching. I got some dirty looks today at the poll because where I was at off of County Line Road, it's the largest, the group of, there's 7,000 registered voters at this precinct for Limestone County, Madison City. And we were outside for the majority of the time, and I didn't wear the mask while I was outside.
That's because you don't need one.
And I got some pretty dirty looks, but I did wear it once I went into the polling, into the church.
Here's the fun part. I'd forgotten my cloth mask today, like the one that really doesn't work, and all I had in the back was a full-blown respirator. You better believe I walked into my polling place in a full-blown respirator.
What if you stood in line and you had a gas mask on?
I did. That's what I did.
what you had.
That's what I mean, it's a respirator. I know you don't have a man card, but that's exactly
Well, I
what
was
it
saying like full face, like
Oh, no, it's not. I mean, it's
like,
not a full-blown, but it is a like respirator with canisters. I mean, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, like it's I look like Bane walking in there.
Yeah, I don't know. People say they're worried about it, they're concerned about it, but there's
They're not.
a lot of difference in things. So yeah, I don't know. So
Grant, do I have a flippant attitude towards the coronavirus?
Flipping attitude, sure. Flip it, yeah.
You said sure real quick. I think
Flippant.
you should have thought about that for a second.
Well, I've been up in New York for this whole thing, and I drove to Oklahoma City and back, and it's two Americas.
do you think that one thing a lot of people have been talking about, we didn't get to talk about this morning on the show, but there's a big concern that people are saying, like the CNN, the people that have drove home the coronavirus, that they may have like scared their own
Base out of
voting. I wonder if that's going to be something that we'll see where the turnout's
or
low.
maybe that's why you saw 109 million mail-in votes or advance voting.
Be interesting to see if it scared them away from actually going and doing anything.
I saw.
I think in general there's just a lot of cross currents. I think, even in individual states, like I mentioned, some of the intersectionality with the Latin community in Florida. There's just all sorts of things that like Trump is at a slight disadvantage from 16 here, but Biden's at a different disadvantage there. And there's just we're just gonna have to watch it all play out because I don't think it's a wave either way based on the early returns.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's probably going to be a red wave, and Trump's probably going to win 422 of the Electoral College votes, but that's just one man's opinion.
Dang.
What do I know?
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing. You remember me saying Pennsylvania is Alabama with
Right.
Pittsburgh on one side and Philadelphia on the other?
Yep.
Well, I'm sitting here talking to you in the parking lot of this school. There's just deers walking past me like I was in some field
No
in
joke.
Alabama. So, yeah, man. It's yeah.
Do they have horns?
They're too far away for me to see. It's dark.
I'd really like to know if they had horns. Yeah, there's some good deer in PA, man. I'd like to go hunt. I'd like to hunt a Pennsylvania. They're much bigger up there. You know why?
Yeah,
It's
they get
colder.
on the interstate.
It's colder.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they got to have more insulation. That's why I tried to tell my wife. That's why it's getting colder. I had to add some insulation. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, Grant. Thank you, buddy. Are you going home tonight? You gonna go home? You gonna drive home, or how far is home?
About 90 minutes. I'll be back in the city. I'm gonna start the car as soon as I get off with you. Look for some trouble in New York. If it is a red wave, see what's going on, and holler if you need me.
Oh, if there's trouble, I want to know, Grant.
I'll be there.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you guys. Have a good night.
You too, buddy. Love you, man. All right, we're gonna go to another quick break, recuperate from that monster of a call there, and we'll be right back. We join you live now to call the presidential election. Way too early. We have Joe Biden losing 422 to 168. Grant just let me know it was a 6-point small deer. Not worth pursuing, shooting, anything like that. Okay, so, I mean, look, at the end of the day, there's a lot left to do tonight. We've probably got 10 minutes left with you because, quite frankly, we're not going to fight. There's going to be nothing tonight that changes anything.
No.
Connor, what were you just saying a minute ago? About the South and...
Yeah, the South, especially in Florida and Georgia, not looking good. North Carolina, we don't have a ton of results in yet, but preliminary looks iffy. So the South is not really swinging Biden's way like he was hoping for. That means that the race is going to pretty much come down to the Midwest, where there are worries and concerns that the vote count could delay a result by days or even weeks. So that is kind of where we're at right now. If all Florida, North Carolina, and Georgia are the big ones, if they all go red, then this election moves to the Midwest.
All I want for Christmas is a president.
I think we'll have I'm pretty sure, I feel reasonably confident that.
Did you hear that?
Reasonably
Wow.
confident.
He's been hanging out with a bunch of liberals. I feel reasonably confident.
I was going to say that we have a result by Thanksgiving, but actually I'm going to take that back. I don't know if that's true or not.
Fat Anderson Cooper will have a freaking result. I know that. It'll be pecan pie. That's a good one. I got him. Do you see the shirt he's got on there? Boomer and the Beard 20. Those will be available on the store at beardedisbetter.com and at thehometownheartbeat.com. You didn't even know we had that one.
I did not.
That's because I've had it for 5 years. But, yeah, I mean, what do we want to leave the fine folks of the country with tonight?
Prediction. You got to make a prediction, right or wrong.
I predict Donald Trump wins. I think, and we were just having this discussion off air, and maybe we should have had it on there. I don't know. It got a little, it did not heated, but excitable. That's a good way to say it. Excitable. Connor here is a young man. He's a young lad.
Moldable.
He's a young lad that still has some idealism left in him, which is a good thing, right? We don't want to. I don't want to corrupt that. I don't want to take that away. It's like telling him Santa Claus isn't real. We all know Santa's real. I mean, my son's watching. We all know Santa Claus is the real deal, right? Like, so I don't want to take that joy from him. But he said, and I quote, "Oh wow, the South isn't falling the way that they maybe hoped it would," and it's like, no shit. Excuse my language, but yeah, I know. North Carolina's not in play. South Carolina's not in play. Georgia's not in play. Florida's not in play.
Throwing...
Texas is dang sure not in play. And it never was. It never was. The only thing that's in play are the same freaking 4 states that always decide the election. It's not in play. The liberal media does a fantastic job. A fan-freaking-tastic job of making you think it's going to swing this way. It's not. Guess what? It's not. So the reality is, my prediction, Donald Trump wins in a far bigger margin than he did in 2016. That's my prediction. I still believe it, especially sitting here watching the returns, watching what were some of those, I don't remember the statistics right now, but the amount of Republican ballots coming in versus Democratic ballots in Michigan and in crazy places where it shouldn't be the way it is.
We had Maricopa County in Arizona.
Yeah,
that was pretty incredible, where they came in
40, what was it, 40,000?
49,777 to 21,271 Democrats.
Yeah, big numbers. Connor, by the way, Jeremy Simpson says, I think Connor could have beat Doug Jones this year.
If I was eligible to run, if only.
Connor will run for office, and I will be his campaign supervisor / marketing person / spokesman. Ain't that right?
I don't think I could do that to myself.
What? Run or have me?
Run for office. Run for office. To be clear.
I was about to say.
Sorry, no.
Dang, I thought I'd be a pretty good spokesman.
I would elect you manager of my life if I could.
I don't know if you want to do that.
What was the final electoral Hillary?
Pull that up.
Before faithless electors, 306 to whatever 538 minus 306 is.
Wait, what?
The final electoral tally.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, he just spouted that.
We hadn't memorized.
306 232, and then faithless electors got involved. So
What's
that number's a little-
faithless electors?
So that's in the Electoral College.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting a history lesson from a 17-year-old. Hit me.
You know, the Electoral College is just a bunch of, it's 538
It's racist.
people. Okay. It's 538 people that meet in D.C. in the middle of December, and
Right.
they actually cast the real votes for president.
Right.
They just kind of vote the way that their state popular vote went.
Right.
But they're not technically legally bound to vote the way that their state
I
voted.
got
So
you.
some of them will go to the real vote, where they, all the electors cast their votes in D.C., and they'll vote for somebody else. So you had, I think, 4 break for Colin Powell in 2016, 1 that broke for John Kasich, 1 that voted for Bernie Sanders out of Hawaii. So there were, I think, all told, like 7
Colin
or 8.
Powell got votes in 2016.
Yeah. The most of any outside the 2 main ones. There was 1 Native American activist that got a vote out of somewhere. I don't know. So, yeah, I think 8 faithless electors all told.
That was Elizabeth Warren.
That,
that was a good one.
That was good.
Oh, that was a good.
We've turned into stand-up. We should have just filled this whole thing with comedians and just let them go.
Connor's not even laughing into the microphone.
That's pretty good.
Because he doesn't want to be racially insensitive. And I'm over here like, screw it.
She's
Oh,
she's
God.
Indian. She wrote a cookbook. I mean, like I said today, I'm going with the 302 Trump.
Connor, don't leave me on an island here. God, she wrote a cookbook. Say something. Good gracious. Oh.
thanks for watching Boomer the Beard Election Night Returns.
Thank you for enjoying our last show that we were able to have on the internet.
This is the best ab workout I've had in 3 years. Oh, my gosh.
I'm saying 302 Trump, 236 Biden. That's mine. If we do that, we're all going to Vegas.
Oh, I'm literally
this weekend.
crying right now. Oh, my gosh. That was the best joke I've heard in a long time. I'm sorry. Whoo, I don't get out much. My abs are literally hurting. That's I don't know what that says more about his joke or my physical fitness, but good Lord, Connor, that needs to be cut up right there. That is a best of as of today. Unfortunately, I wish you wouldn't have had that side angle on because it looked all fish-eyed, but I don't even care. That was so freaking funny. Okay, so you were talking about faithless electors and Pocahontas and everything else.
Yeah, so that's just the final count in 2016 was slightly different.
What
And,
was it? I'm sorry, I completely lost track.
I think Trump got 304. Hillary got something like 227. Once it was all said and done, I think 8.
Why does everybody talk about that like it was close?
It's with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You go ahead, you liberal.
in the grand scheme of
Somebody called you a liberal the other day. I punched him in the face for you. I just want you to know. I defended your honor. I did not allow them to. I did not allow them to say that about you. I hit him in the face.
Okay.
But you do come across a little bit libbish at times.
I'm talking about elections.
Yes.
Okay.
You talk about them with
Yeah.
less fact, okay, and more Trump. By God, roll Tide and roll Trump, Connor.
And if the look,
Oh gosh, it's
I
so
could
good.
turn out to be, and it's looking like it might turn out to be completely wrong going off polls. And if
Hold
I
on
am,
a minute.
I will completely reshift my, how I
I
process
just,
information.
I just want to be very clear. When you turn out to be wrong,
Yeah.
I want you to understand, because every now and again, like once a day, you look at us like we're a bunch of crazy conspiracy people. You look at us like we are just some
Yes.
crazy old men sitting around talking about Vietnam. That's how you look at us. I want you to understand, we're normal. We're probably the most normal people you know, which is freaking terrifying, by the way. But no, you're exactly right. And that's the thing. And honestly, it's fun, and we laugh about it, we joke, and we pick on you. We pick on everybody. Everybody gets picked on around this table. But the reality is, like, I've learned more about what the media and what today, what the landscape is, what it's doing to children by working with you than not that I wanted to know, because I did want to know, but now that I know, I'm terrified, because it's just you get a very skewed view. You're the smartest kid I know, far and away. Like, I hope my son grows up to be half as smart as you are. You are incredibly intelligent. You've got it all put together. And even you can be deceived at times by really good misinformation campaigns. And it's like, that's terrifying. Because if you could be, there's a bunch of kids that aren't as smart as you, that don't care as much as you. Kids that are in your class that could vote today, that cast a ballot with no idea. If you cast a ballot today, I feel completely confident because you've been exposed to quality conservative value. I don't know what you would have voted. What would you have voted today?
Probably third party for reasons similar to Grant. Want to get
same like I voted for Joe Jorgensen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I voted for because Alabama didn't matter.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to get 10% because I want a third party on the stage.
Yeah.
I had to explain that like 17 times today to people because they're like, well, you voted for Joe Jorgensen? That's just a waste of a vote. You might as well have voted for Biden. It's like in Pennsylvania that would be true.
Yeah, but here it's more
Here
strategic.
it does not matter.
Yeah.
Like my vote literally could not matter any less than it mattered today. And so, like you said, absolutely strategic. Voted to try to bring a third voice into a conversation. That's what I voted for today. I didn't vote for a party. I voted for the lack of a two-party system, more or less. But ultimately, the fact of the matter is somebody in your school cast a ballot today, probably for Biden, having no clue economically, racially, law and order, tax. I mean, there's so many things that you've been exposed to by being around us that you may not have otherwise been exposed to. And I not an indictment of parents. Nothing. Literally just a bubble conversation about what life looks like for a 17-year-old in the world today. And it's just different.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. You come at different starting points.
Yeah.
Where nobody goes from the same starting line. I had a conversation today, 2 different conversations at work today. I've got my Trump socks on that everybody.
Oh, those socks are fantastic.
They got a big kick out of that at work. But like one person said I can't vote for Trump because he's racist, and I was like, okay, I want to hear that, but I want to go through that. So he's racist. So he said, he wants people to come in the country legally. That wasn't picking on a race. That was picking on the fact they were legal. He goes, well, he picks on Muslims all the time. Well, that's not a race. So you go into all these different things, and it's like you just can't go from that starting point, and I think that's the hard thing is like who do you get your core values from? Who do you trust? Who do you listen to? Is it a teacher? Is it your parents? Is it, and sometimes even your parents are wrong. Sometimes teachers are wrong, but you feel like those individuals need to be, no way mom and dad could be wrong. No way my favorite teacher could be wrong. And that's tough. It's a tough thing to handle. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that all breaks down.
We got a comment from my buddy Toby. He said, I had a kid tell me today he was voting for Biden because he, quote, met him once.
Yeah, it's
So that's what I look for in my candidates, whether I've shook their hand.
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, this has been fun. It's 7:45. My bedtime's like 18 minutes away because we'll be right here again at 3:45, 4:30 in the morning. Connor will be here about 8. But, no, I'm kidding. I'm the only one that's ever missed a show. I have to keep telling myself that. But we will be back early in the morning. Thank you for joining us for the not-so-serious, had a good time, Fat Anderson Cooper version of the Boomer and the Beard election results show. If you have any questions, I don't care. Don't ask me. We're not going to answer them. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys bright and early. If you haven't yet, join us in the mornings right here on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. See you guys in the morning.